Hi there, I'm Mitch Haralabidis, and in this video I start talking about AP Statistics 6.4 subtopic, which is titled by Setting Up a Test for a Population Proportion. Stay with me because we will see together, first of all, what a hypothesis test for population proportion is, the entire concept. Then we will see the quantities involved towards this direction, and we will close this first video of many to follow with the conditions that should be met and allow us to actually conduct this hypothesis test. To begin with, let's start with the definition so that we are all on the same page. A hypothesis test, so it's a hypothesis test, it's just a process that provides me with evidence, provides us with evidence to support or not a claim about a population parameter, but in this case, since we will be talking just for the population proportion, it provides us with evidence to support a claim about the population proportion. About the population proportion. We will be talking a lot about proportions, but you should know and you should keep it in mind that there are actually three different types of proportions in all these exercises. It's what I call the three P's. First of all, we have the population proportion. The population proportion can be found if we go and examine one by one all the individuals of a population. Let's say that the entire population is all students in our school. Then if we go one by one and check them for a specific characteristic, let's say how many students are wearing glasses. So if we monitor one by one all the school students and then we end up with the exact number of those who are wearing glasses, this is the true population proportion. Remember that the true population proportion is fixed. So if we can actually find the true population proportion, why all this mess? Why do we do this hypothesis test? It's about size. If we're talking about all students of a school, let's say 500, 600 students, then theoretically it's easy. It will take some time, but we will be able eventually to go and examine them one by one. However, if we're talking about the whole citizens of a city, close to 1 million, you understand that although that can also be done, it will need more time and more money. And often it's something that we do not have the luxury to waste. What do we do in these cases? We examine smaller, way smaller samples. However, from these samples, by examining the same characteristic, we get a different proportion, which is called sample proportion. So, apart from the population proportion, which I forgot to mention that it will be notated by P, we have the sample proportion, which is notated by P hat. And remember how I defined the hypothesis test. It's a process that will allow me, will provide me with evidence to support a claim about the population proportion. This claimed proportion is what we will call from now on P0. So the claimed proportion would be P0. Let's see an example. A bike company claims, so this is the claimed proportion, that 10% of its bikes are blue. We take a random sample of 200 bikes from this company and we manage to find that 16 of them are blue. Since we use the smaller sample, then and 16 ended up to be blue, this proportion, 16 over 200, is the sample proportion and it's going to be that p hat. Then, of course, we have a true population of all bikes. Sorry, let's make that 2 bikes, which, however, in order to be determined, we would have to go and check every single bike from that company. But the key concept remains 3 different proportions: population proportion, sample proportion, and claimed proportion. Now, before we go to see what a hypothesis test is, we should know that, as in everything we've been doing so far, there are always conditions. There are always conditions that should be met and that will actually allow us to even start constructing this hypothesis test. In here, we have 3 conditions for valid inference. Condition number 1, randomness. The data collected, this means my sample, must be collected through a random sample technique. This will ensure that the sample used is representative enough of the population. This will also reduce bias in the results, and this will allow us in general to generalize our findings in the entire population. So we have to have a random selection of the sample used. Second condition, it's what we call independence condition, and it has to do about the 10%. The sample size of my selected sample must be smaller or at most equal to 10% of the actual population size. Let's say if we're working with the school, which I said has 600 students, 10% of that is 60. So our selected samples should be less or at most equal to 60. This, be having a sample with a size less than 10% of the population, will ensure that sampling without replacement will not significantly affect the probability of our success. Remember, when sampling without replacement for a finite population, observations are technically dependent, but if the sample is small relative to the population, which is what we want to achieve here, we can treat them as independent ones. Forgetting the last sentences, keep in mind that the sample that we use must have a size less than or equal to 10% of the original population. And thirdly, it's the normality condition. Once we have selected the sample size, the sample size, and let that be n, and having assumed a claimed proportion, let's call it p0, we must check that the product of the sample size with the claimed proportion is greater or equal than 10, and that at the same time, the product between the size of the sample and the 1 minus the claimed proportion is also greater or equal than 10. So, before we even conduct a hypothesis test, we need to do these 3 checks. First of all, did I select my sample randomly enough? Yes. Is the sample size smaller or equal than the size of the population itself? Yes. If I multiply the sample size with the claimed proportion and the sample size with the 1 minus the claimed proportion, will I keep getting numbers greater or equal than 10? Yes. If all these 3 conditions are met, then we'll see that it makes sense talking, or it makes sense even watching the videos that will follow. For now, just stick with these 2 concepts. A hypothesis test is a test that provides us with evidence to support a claim. There are 3 different proportions: population, sample, claimed, and finally 3 conditions. 1 about randomness, 2 about independence, 3 about normality. Don't forget, we like, we subscribe, and we share this to our friends. As always, thank you for watching.